Hi all. So it's been a while since I got Greenlight cars. My last video on Greenlight was not very positive, and I'm still maintaining that. But at the end of the day, I still think like Greenlight is pretty great. Money for value for the most part. Just every once in a while, these small quality control things add up. Now today I have two more, and one is an Italian car, which I'll start with because European cars are my focus, I guess. I mean, I call it a European car, but obviously somewhat facetious. But like, if I have to put it under a category, it will be under Italian cars because Stellara, right? This is the Indy car for the 2019 season. This is a Stellara IR12 chassis with the IR18 aero kit and a Chevrolet engine, and I think I'll still put it on Stellara because at the end of the day, for instance, if I end up getting more cars with someone's like Honda engines, well, they still will be nicely fit next to each other. This is 164, and I'm really excited for this because I do love like the design of the open wheel racing cars, even from a aesthetic value. I mean, like, these things are designed purely for performance, right? But I still think they have like a sleek, simplistic elegance to them. Love them. And there's not a lot of these cars on the market, and definitely not like premium 164 stuff, so I'm glad to have this. This is driven by Joseph Newgarden, who won Indy 500 last year, which I'm not really familiar with all this stuff, so if I get something wrong or there's something I neglected to mention, I do apologize. Now, construction wise, this is interesting. This is metal on metals, metal body, metal base. Because it's tiny, right? Greenlight usually have plastic bases for like larger cars. And what's interesting about it is usually Greenlight cars, the wheels are actually fitted tightly onto the axle, so both wheels on the same axle will rotate at the same time, but not this case. These wheels are fitted individually. Rolling one does not roll the other, and same for the back ones as well, which is interesting. It doesn't roll that well. Not that I don't intend to have this rolling, so I don't really care about that. That's a bit bumpy, and you can see the front tires are a bit stuck sometimes. I mean, it works, but it doesn't work that well, and also I don't think it's the most important thing. Excuse me. Quality control wise, this one is pretty good. There's no major piece flaws. I've seen it before. I've seen like one video in which someone showed like the front wing being a little how should I say, like a little bent, a little sideways, but you can see now like the front wing is a part of the chassis piece, the base, so I don't think that should be very common now anymore, at the very least. Print wise is really nice. You can see a number 2 Hitachi. I think it's interesting because I look it up, like they're racing for Team Penske or Penske. I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to pronounce it, but like you can see Penske. You can only see Penske right here at the small wing, front wing, or splitter, however you want to call it. It's also made by Stellara, which is the logo you can see here. See Shell, Pennzoil, Snap-on discount tire, IndyCar, number 2 Hitachi. You can see the Chevrolet logo indicating the engine, but lighting conditions permitting. I think it shows a lot better on camera than it does in person. This is not very it's not like the sharpest print I've ever seen, but like on the other hand, you can tell like it's maybe darker will help. No, I don't think so, but like you can see there's kind of a ridge here, so it's more than understandable they're not going to get it perfectly. Firestone, PPG, Verizon, and you can see again Chevrolet. So really nice car. The only thing I might want to complain about, like I said earlier, is the rolling capabilities, but these things are designed as models, right? And they're tiny. For comparison, let's see what should I use to compare. Oh, this one. This is the from a different company. This is Sparky, like another race car, right? But sports car, racing sports car. You can see them. They're pretty much they're around the same length. Actually, the Indy car is a little longer than the Mercedes AMG, but the AMG is it's a little taller than it. It's basically like it's roughly the same. Like roughly the same. It's roughly the same height, roughly the same length, same width, but like the open wheeler is obviously going to be a lot more bare bones than the Mercedes AMG, than like the actual sports car, race car. So it's really really cool, and this is my first experience, first taste of it. It's really nice. I would like to get some like Hot Wheels has a couple of Indy 500 ovals that's done in premium. There's a supercharger hunt. Kyosho has 164, Lotus or Renault, obviously Ferrari, F1, so it'd be pretty nice. But yeah, it's definitely very new to my collection, something, but I think it's really nice. And like it's nice and heavy. I feel like it's really good. Yeah. Greenlight 2017, made in China. I'm also interested in getting like a couple, maybe one of the new 2020 cars, because they have the extra cockpit protection. I forgot what it's called already, but they'll look really nice and really different from like what you usually think of when you think of like Formula cars or open wheel race cars. So it's pretty cool. And just a comparison with the Hot Wheels version. This is the Hot Wheels Indy 500 oval. Now they're not the same chassis. This one is the Dallara IR05. Not although this one is still a 2020 release. It's a very, they're still using the same car. This is a new one. As you can see, the Hot Wheels is, I think, maybe a little bit larger than 164, not by much. Maybe just a little. Well, they still look pretty nice next to each other, I would like to say. And the other premium Dallara I have is another Hot Wheels. This is the, well, technically it's a Ferrari, but technically it is also Dallara. This is the Ferrari 333 SP. And again, I think it might be just a little bit bigger than a 164. I'm not sure. I'm not doing any math about it. Yeah, look nice next to each other. I'm glad to have this to my collection. And like I said, the quality control on this one is pretty great. The next one I got is a Japanese car. And this is interesting because it's actually a Greenlight Tarmac Works collaboration, and this is another R34. Not a, like, I'm not the biggest JDM or Japanese car collector, but this is my third premium R34 now, and my second Greenlight R34, which is interesting. Now this is I'll get to that later, but this is actually a 2002 version. As you can see, I don't really know how these collaborations work, but I would assume the body and everything is still done by Greenlight, and maybe Tarmac Works did the deco and everything will be my guess, because it wouldn't make sense for Tarmac Works to actually be producing these parts, right? Because it wouldn't be cost effective. While just painting will be a lot easier and a lot cheaper. That will be my guess. But like you can see, the quality control is really really nice. All the pieces are perfect. The paint is really on point as well. I would say this is it's like definitely upper echelon of like Greenlight, if not better than regular Greenlight altogether. It's not 100% perfect. You can see this here is missing a little bit of the white. The right here is missing a little bit of black. Like overall, it's really sharp. So it's pretty nice. I got this for like, by the way, the previous IndyCar, I think I got it online for like $6 or maybe $7. This one it's $10 with free shipping. I think both are pretty much worth the price. Right here, it's not like a huge deal, but right here the wing, there's a little bit of a chip, which is not really a big deal. I'm not expecting Tarmac Limited vintage quality from Greenlight. Just, you know, you get what you paid for, right? And this is by far cheaper than Tarmac Limited vintage. And let's see what else. It rolls pretty good as far as Greenlight is concerned. It's not super bumpy. It's a little bumpy, but it's pretty good. And I'm not going to open the engine hood because I haven't been able to do it yet. I don't want to use an X-Acto knife because, as far as Greenlight considers, this is pretty great. I don't want to risk damaging it or anything. But I'm just going to show you a different Greenlight R34. This is a 2001 R34 in Nismo livery. I've shown it before. Overall, really, really good, except for this, which is just awful. I've had similar paint issues with Auto World as well. It's like, you know, everything else is great, but it's like just tiny bit is just absolutely dreadful. This one I managed to open it up a lot easier than the Falken one, and I think the engine bay should be pretty similar, if not exactly the same. It's pretty good, but like I don't I'm not really concerned about like moving parts and interior details. Doesn't hurt for the most part unless there are cases when it won't close properly. I had it once with Greenlight, and another one from Shelby Collectibles. I had those happen, which is really annoying. But this is a 2001 and this is a 2002, and you can see there's like subtle differences. Back wing are not exactly the same, and you can see the engine hood are not the same either. So this is like, excuse me, this is definitely an advantage you get with companies that make their die-cast models in many small parts, is that when everything becomes what's the word, modular, you can easily switch out parts to accommodate like model year to year model changes, right? Like Hot Wheels, everything is pretty much for not including the axles or wheels. The main body is like for the most part 4 pieces, so you can't really accommodate that kind of thing. You get a lot of inaccurate stuff. For instance, we just saw the leaked photos for the next premium Fast and Furious line. I think I haven't seen any of this film, but I heard that all of these cars are driven by women, and I've seen people say how like the S2000, the Honda S2000, is inaccurate, and because the S2000 in the movie is actually an open top, and we've never seen the car with the top on, while the Hot Wheels version is not. It's just straight up a hard top. I don't really care. I think the S2000 looks better with top on. I think most cars look better as hard tops than convertibles. It's just my personal opinion for the most part. But yeah, like if Hot Wheels can actually give a couple more pieces, make it modular, you can easily just have the option to have the hood on, or have the hard top on or off, or like make more subtle changes like so. And if companies like Greenlight, Auto World can do this, I doubt it will be too expensive, and I doubt it will be too expensive for like a giant company like Mattel. Like I'm sure Mattel can afford to do it and still make a nice profit, and let alone like the amount of extra details you can get, like lens headlights and such. Although one complaint I do have with these R34s is like the pretty much useless side mirrors. It's like either make them like full sized, proper, accurate, detailed mirrors, or just don't have them at all. Like this just feels a bit weird. Just for comparison, you can see the Tarmac Limited Vintage. Obviously not a fair comparison, but like the not the same R34 either. But like, you know, these are nice side mirrors. This is just seems a bit weird, but I mean, it's pretty minor, but I prefer them. Just don't do them if you can't do them properly. Greenlight. Yeah, but like overall, I think the Falken R34 is really great. I'm definitely willing to pay a couple more dollars for good quality control and like nice print they got from Tarmac Works this time. Now this is only my second Falken livery, and both of them are actually premium models, and both of them are actually have Tarmac Works involvement. This is a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo X. Evo X. You're gonna be 7 of them to be able to date Ramona Flowers. I love. Ooh, that's great, right? Evo X. That's actually if I ever get a Lancer Evolution, that's what I'm gonna name it. I love Scott Pilgrim versus the World, like, and I've actually just read the comic books a couple days ago, and I think they're just amazing. Like I still love the movie. I love Edgar Wright. He is just incredible writer director, and the comic books are great. And I was really surprised to see how accurate the movie portrayals of the characters are, like from down to dialogue all the way to like the appearances, the looks of minor characters. Like I read the comic book and I immediately knew who was who. Like it's just incredible. Anyway, yeah, both of them look really nice next to each other. Both Japanese cars with Falken liveries. Hold up, like a Greenlight obviously is gonna be like half to a third the price of Tarmac works, or like a third to a fourth of the price of Tarmac Limited Vintage. But like this model in particular, and Greenlight models in general, they're not going to look bad. They're not going to look cheap or out of place next to Tarmac Limited Vintage. Unlike a I don't want to like hit on Hot Wheels, but like there's stuff like with proportions and lack of details. They might, especially with some models more than others, they might look cheaper or just out of place next to Tarmac Limited Vintage. But for the most part, Greenlight, unless not including the ones with like horrible defects, which I've seen like on the internet, but I haven't really encountered one myself. But like, I'd say Greenlight for the most part holds up nicely next to these like die-cast giants. So yeah, that's it for my pair of Greenlights. Let's see. I do have a few more things coming in. I'm really excited to show them to you. Yeah, great pair of models. I genuinely think they're incredible. And I bought both of them on Amazon. Like, was the price of, so I think like $67 for the IndyCar, $10 for the Tarmac Works collaboration Falken R34. Great stuff. Yeah. That's it for today. And you can see the size comparisons. I honestly look, I'm not really familiar with this stuff. I expect the IndyCar to be quite a bit smaller than what it came out to be. So it's an interesting learning experience for me as well. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.